This is Doug Wulff with TimeBolt. A customer of ours, Tom, had a very important question, good question about Zoom calls, a recorded lecture. He asks, "Hi Doug, very compelling article. How would you apply TimeBolt to this video? I am concerned that if we cut too much out, it becomes unnatural and loses nuance. But I agree with you, you're oversaturation point and people have too much thrown at them and not enough time or attention span. Would love to see one, what specific settings you would use, and two, how much shorter it would make the video." He also asks, is there any way to identify and delete ums and ahs, so's, and those filler words? He also provides a couple links to podcasts, popular podcasts in there, where you can tell that the audio is sped up. I'm thinking by 1.125x, which I find very compelling. It speeds up the process by an additional like 12%. So it's 1.125 when you're able to deliver that content that much faster at fully caffeinated 196 words a minute. You're guaranteed to kind of break through in the way that you're getting a lot of information fast. So first thing we're going to do is drop this video that I ripped off YouTube right into TimeBolt, let it do its thing. About 27 minutes, it's talking about climate change, and I was emailed this by a customer again that is looking to understand what are the optimal settings and how much shorter would you make it. First thing you're going to do, what happens is that these settings right here, remove silences at 0.5 seconds, 0.75 captures a lot of the ums and ahs and random mic strikes. The left padding at 0.09, right padding at 0.15. The only thing you're really going to have to adjust is this. You're typically going to put anywhere between -30 to -40 dB, because as you can see, there's obviously silences that hasn't cut out here. So let's go ahead and put this at -40 and see what we've got. Hit update silence detection settings. We're going to expand this out, and we saved an additional 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Okay, so I wouldn't have, this is the ideal settings that I would use. Let's go ahead and see what this sounds like. This is something that you do instantly. So you would save 2 minutes and 38 seconds of dead air. I would suggest to do this every time, unless you're, doing some long on-air broadcast and you got $1 million studio set and design behind you. I would keep the information as fast as possible. That means fully caffeinated, 195 words per minute. The only way to do that is to not take time to think or breathe. And that's what this software does. But let's go ahead and now see if there's any fine tuning that we can do for your audiences. I'll hit L and it'll start previewing, and I can hit preview up to 4x speed.
Welcome everybody. I'm Thomas Morgan. Friends call me Timo. I want to send a big shout out to John Sanchez and climatesprints.com. Air miners, John.
You can see these like ums and stuff like that. I hit Command B. I can just hit O and knock that out.
Air miners, John. This is like an awesome format. We've accomplished a lot. If you haven't checked it out, go to climatesprints.com and take a look. Big thanks to everyone who answered all the questions, emails, and etc. I guess somebody came through what we do. So now, without further ado, welcome to digestible climate finance. Notice I said air quotes on digestible because it's a nod to what lies ahead. We can just pause for a second and ask ourselves. You'll see why in a minute. But is my investment strategy healthy? Or ask yourself.
Just a second. So I mean,
ask ourselves. You'll see why in a minute, but
see why in a minute. It sounded like an entire filler right there.
Is my investment strategy?
I think that sounds a lot better.
Or ask yourself, is my climate project?
Now you see that this is cut out. What is this?
Nutritious.
Okay, you might want to keep nutritious.
Climate project, nutritious. So just keep that in mind, and you note the digest.
Looks like that's what we cut out before.
Go along. Sprint team came together for 21 days to answer one main question. We're all volunteers. We're unfunded. All the work is open source. We're just contributing it to the greater climate community. So super excited to do that. We didn't know each other at the start, but the desire is to find the answer to this one question. That question in climate sprint parlance is a problem hack. And that problem hack is, how can we best value what we implement this services and mobile climate plans? That's what we're
so the science is the concept that we are not you're right, today, and what's going to be together, one thing we working for, or the diversity of people involved in this. And we have massive problems like this. It's hard to work here, and people, it takes a multidisciplinary team. So you're going to from Neil, Tommy, Shannon, Cassandra, versus Cassandra, and because this is hard to how these get to their solutions. And out of all the people that use some size, who they get to this, it's hard to and remains together, and it's really an honor. I'm excited to see what everyone else like. Thank you. All right, so this question has
now I could hit Command B. She said thank you, and so you're going to that all right, so can be gone.
Thank you.
This question, how can we best value co-benefits?
Reset your attention.
Services when mobilizing climate finance. It's timely. This is the UN climate decade position. It's also imperative because, as reported on the August 28th Bloomberg Green article, funds holding $10 trillion are told their ecosystem goals falter. Nothing on the market. So these are the markets that are going to be change to address it. Some of the funds concerned with change has so far released on the and even the outcomes results of the lower competition, but it's not the So there's a lot of money going in.
Now, if you're doing this yourself, I mean, any so and or that's I'd get rid of that.
There's a lot of money going in projects, but it's not making them meaningful. As this team reviewed the existing body of work in this sphere, we can actually accommodate margin, but implementation of stakeholders, namely master project workers. We determined that there are significant things about across environmental, societal, and engineering sectors, each of them has interests, but there's significant conversation stakeholders. This stakeholders are bypass, this rate communication, those policies, and those ideas, these as well as these activities, and these are under what we have, and potentially out of this is next.
So as you can see, And you can hear that's where the 0.75 comes in. It just removes those random excited utterances, filler words that come long before a sentence starts or after it ends, mic strikes, stuff like that.
Confirm our assessment fund for the $200 million to $2 billion fund size. Across the investments, we make these investments, $25,000 down to $100 million per event. We also have $15,000 for the carbon
Forest, there might be something you want to keep.
carbon forest project. It's regenerative agriculture, biochar, blue carbon.
Now, I would say that this sounds like something that's already well produced, or scripted somewhat. So you've got, as opposed to a live conversation, you're going to just have a lot more, you're just going to be able to deliver this a lot more smoothly. Typically, we're saving on a 30-minute file anywhere, but sometimes 5 to 10 minutes per 30 minutes of just nothing but dead air. This is obviously a choreographed. Even shortening this by 2 minutes and 38 seconds is a lifetime. It's enough time up front and in the middle to absolutely lose attention. I'll just keep going with this. We're already at 6:20.
Yeah, whether it be quality gap, expertise gap, data, knowledge, funding, size, love, matching gap. Maybe did that, either overloaded too much information product or concern of time, money, or verification process, versus it.
So it looks like that this was entirely scripted. We'll just go ahead and take it that it was, okay? And as you can see, it's just removing all the dead air, random mic strikes. This is what our typical settings would be. You can add background music. Now, it's super fast. If let's say elements of this didn't count, okay? You wanted to get rid of like a Sears breakout session. This is where it comes in handy, right? Let's say I got 2 minutes. I'm just gonna hit O. And you can see I can cut lots and lots of video very, very fast that way. I just hit that Command Z for undo. Now back to normal. You could also do fast forward silences. So if you've got anything in here that is, 5-6 seconds long, let's say anything over 5 seconds, I don't know if you're going to have any of that because like I said, it's very well choreographed. But if you were to have something in here that was like you wanted to show, not tell, so let's say right here, you were going through some type of screen share, I can make that yellow and just actually speed that up. Any scene or word. I could do it to this whole thing if we wanted to. But that's how you do speed up if that's what you're doing, if you're doing math problems, something like that. I was able to automatically edit it pretty much instantly, and I'd hit add to render queue. You do the remaining 20% sculpting, and you can do that at 4x speed. So you're probably looking at an additional 10 minutes to completely sculpt what you want to say into the perfect playback. But that is super, super fast. It's certainly not 5 times as long as it is today to edit something as it takes to shoot it live or capture it on air. I'll hit add to render queue. It start rendering. Files certainly look like a good manageable file size. What's also interesting, if you want to see what you're missing, okay, what you're cutting out, what your audiences don't have to sit through, this is a good exercise in futility to show why you're actually doing this. This shows you all the silences that are cut out. This is all the dead air. This is what all the dead air sounds like as it's rendering out.
What is a problem pack?
All right, so
I mean, you can hear this. It's literally 3 minutes of silence that people are sitting through, and like I said, that's a lot of time to lose attention. I'm going to go ahead and let this run and be quiet, and you'll see this speed up as I will use my software to edit that too. All right, the video is done. It once was 26:49. It's now at almost saved almost 2 minutes of dead air.
because as reported on the August 28th Bloomberg Green article, funds holding $10 trillion are told their ecosystem services goals fall short. Investment fund.
And so, yeah, you got a 2 minute shorter video.
So in this article,
you could obviously probably cut out a few more, a minute or two more and ums and ahs by doing any fine tuning, but anything you can increase speed by, an extra 2 minutes of sitting through dead air when it doesn't take you any time. It's just kind of a no-brainer when it comes to giving people content that they are inundated with all over the internet. So I hope this made sense. I hope TimeBolt makes sense for you and why it's a good idea to speed up the footage and get to the good stuff. And let me know if you have any further questions. Thank you very much.